Hi, this is Tony Tabor, the City Clerk of the City of San Jose, and I'm here to show you how to find your council agendas and how to read them. Starting with the city's homepage, you can scroll down to the bottom and click Meeting Agendas. This will take you to our Legistar Insight page that will list all of the upcoming meetings. You can also view all meetings down here sorted by date and by meeting name. If you only want to see city council meetings, you would select city council here. And then the time range. If you only want to see from these specific years, if you only want to see the ones coming up this month or next month. This is where I tend to get calls from people. They may have this month selected and they don't realize it, and they see, oh, the February meetings aren't showing up. They must not be posted. They are posted. It's just you need to look at next month. So here's all the different dates, and here's the one that actually has a meeting. Alternatively, you can just look and see what's coming up. You know there's a meeting at City Hall. When it's at City Hall, currently all of our meetings are virtual. You know it's coming up sometime this week. This is where you can find it. So you can see that on February 2nd at 5:30, there's a public art committee. This is not one of our regular commissions, so it's under miscellaneous. Other regular commissions have their own pages. So going to a city council, you can click on meeting details or agenda. I tend to click on meeting details because I like the streamlined version of where I'm just seeing the items that have attachments. So if you do this view and you select show all agenda items, this gives you every line that's on the agenda, even the ones where there's no files. So you can follow along the agenda this way. And if you want to see the files, so let's look at the hazard pay for retail food workers. You click on this 21-256, that's the file number. When we create it to put into the agenda, each file gets its own number. So you click on that number and you can see the memorandum from staff as well as letters from the public. So you would just click on the memorandum and it downloads it. And then you can read the memo. So because this was from another meeting, this is a cover memo, and then the actual staff memo from the last meeting is down here as well. So I just clicked back to go here. So alternatively, a lot of people like to just use the PDF. You can click on agenda and it downloads a PDF of the agenda. And it will show you all of our agenda information that's on all of our agendas. It describes what the different sections are of the agenda. It tells you that each speaker generally has 2 minutes to speak per item. It has all these other disclaimers about days and times, how to submit requests for documents, how to submit letters to us. If you need ADA accommodations, it has the contact information here. And then currently, at the time I made this, we have our COVID notices showing all the alternative ways to submit public comment before and during the council meetings, how to speak at a council meeting, and then all of the other things. So this can also sometimes confuse people. This lets you know at 9:30 a.m. we have a closed session. That's the portion of the meeting that is not open to the public. You can attend at 9:30 a.m. and speak on any item that's on this agenda. But then all discussions for those items goes into a closed session and you will be unable to hear or see those discussions. Closed session tends to be things that are like personnel decisions, real estate negotiations, things like that, where we don't want the public to see yet. A lot of the items that get discussed in closed session eventually come out into open session. Let me know if you want me to do a segment on closed versus open sessions. Then we have in order, Pledge of Allegiance, followed by an invocation, orders of the day, a closed session report. This is where they'll report out anything from closed session that they need to report. And then here's all the items. If you see an item with a heading with nothing underneath it, that's usually a standing item. So we have these standing items. Sometimes they have things below them, sometimes they don't. You can hear 2.7 is really the start of the new items that come up for the week. So you would just scroll through. If you want to see the attachments, you just click on them like we did before, and it will download, and you open and you can read the attachment. And we have this for all of these. So consent calendar, those are items acted on in one action. Then we have 3.1 is a standing item report from the city manager. This is where we put in our COVID updates. Sometimes you'll see this not to be heard before 4 p.m. or not to be heard before 5 p.m. This means that even though it comes up second in the agenda, we will skip it, go to other items, and then at 4 or after 4, we'll come back. It doesn't mean it's gonna start at 4. It means we cannot start it before 4, but sometimes it may not be heard until 6 p.m. Depends on how long the item before it takes. But you're safe to come back at 4 and you won't miss it. Sometimes items are moved off of consent calendar onto the regular discussion, and that's where you see something that says renumbered from item 2.10. We leave it in both places. That way if somebody originally looked at the agenda and saw that it was item 2.10, they might get confused. So you'll see it in both places. And then we take the items one at a time until we get to the end, open forum and adjournment. So this is where you will find all of your council meetings. So hopefully that clears things up for some people, and I hope you found this helpful. Thank you.